Every day we scour the internet through one-star reviews of restaurants, amusement parks, you name it. And we read some of the more interesting reviews. Each day we pick a theme. Dawn, what is your theme today?
Brewery tours in the U.S.
Brewery tours in the U.S. And I've got a bunch of stuff in Massapequa.
Oh, right. Is that on Long Island?
On Long Island. This is a hamlet in the town of Nassau, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Oyster Bay in Nassau County.
Okay.
Massapequa. Let me start with brewer tours. Let's start at the Budweiser Brewery Experience in Houston, and where Daryl has this one-star review. Please read my review completely. Okay, Daryl, we will. My check-in experience was 0. I tried to contact Budweiser to voice my dismay. But it was like trying to talk to a live person when trying to contact your cell phone carrier. But anyways, the first person I interacted with on my tour, 2nd of December, 2018, at 1:30, I'm a vet, retired. She was rude and unprofessional and did care that she was. Maybe didn't care?
I don't know.
I had not printed out my ticket and it was my fault. But I have not been treated so cold since boot camp. She told me she needed proof I purchased it. And then continued to talk to her friend and do anything other than assist the customer. Made it clear I was wasting her time. I'm not sure the face of Budweiser. I'm sure not the face of Budweiser. I asked, was there a computer I could use? Her reply was no. Then we just stood there with the uncomfortable silence. I asked, where do we go now? She said, oh, here's your guide. Just poor service. So thank you, Esme.
Okay.
Oof.
Gosh. So you would think they would have a list, because the whole problem here is that he didn't print out his ticket. It's like, okay, you don't have a list of who's booked? I don't know. Maybe have a list?
Yeah.
It was actually longer than that, so we didn't read his whole review. Sorry, Daryl.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service. And let's go to stuff in Massapequa. Here's All-American Hamburger Drive-In. Sean has a 1-star review. I finally tried their cheeseburger after coworkers raved about it, but I found it meh, nothing special. Very tiny burger approaching White Castle size and not worth the money. Too bad they don't use beef tallow or lard to fry their fries. That is healthy and natural. They followed the lies of the 1990s, just like McDonald's and the rest, and use man-made chemically created toxic vegetable seed oils that cause cardiovascular disease, inflammation, obesity, and cancers. The free radicals. Oh my God. The free radicals from the double carbon bonds cause rapid oxidation and hence the rancid taste. Very, very bad for health. Then people wonder why their fries are oil soaked. That is what fake oils do. They soak into foods. They also wonder why they are so obese. What? Vegetable oils shut down the metabolism at the cellular level with the mitochondria. What?
This person has been on Instagram.
This person
on TikTok.
Has been on TikTok. Sean, just don't eat hamburgers and fries. If you have this much information that you think you know about how bad oil is,
why would you even go there?
Don't take the risk.
And also, how do you know? I guess he could have asked, like, what do you fry your vegetable or your fries in, I guess, but that was a lot. And that just tells me a lot more about Sean than it does the All-American Hamburger Drive-In.
That's right. That's right.
Like, was the burger good? We didn't find out.
No, it was small. It was White Castle size.
It's not a problem as far as I'm concerned.
No, love it.
Okay, let's go back to brewery tours. And this time it's the Cures Brewery Tour in Colorado, where Jeremy Beers, appropriate, has this 1-star review. Not free anymore. And you have to make reservations. Shame. In a world full of lamos, Coors, who is this? Like somebody from the 1980s? In a world full of lamos, Coors is definitely one of the biggest of the lamos. No individuality anymore. Mr. Beers does not approve. Mr. Beers believes in a world of limitless possibilities, including free brewery tours without reservations. Please bring it back. If you refer to yourself in the third person, you are either a narcissist or Bob Dole.
Right. And you've
Dole
named yourself Jeremy
Bob
Beers.
Dole. Yeah, he clearly thinks he's the expert.
Mr. Beers. Okay,
I bet if you
Mr.
looked
Beers.
him up, he's probably got his own Instagram account.
Mr. Beers. Probably.
Jeremy Beers, and he goes around the. Also, he was a child of the 80s because nobody
Lame-o?
under the age of 40 is going to use the term lame-o.
Yeah. I said crapazoid the other day, and you were like, what?
Crapazoid.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to Massapequa, and we are going to go to Nassau, Suffolk Greenbelt Trail. Danny Schindel has a 1-star review. If you love walking in a tiny park filled with trash, you will love this trail. It's about 1 mile, the most boring pseudo park you'll ever see. These are some really dirty swans in the water. So maybe if you're an activist or a bird pervert and want to clean the wildlife, it's perfect for you.
I did not get this. I had to read this twice because I was like, bird pervert. And why would I want to wash? Oh, because they're dirty swans?
Dirty
How does he know they're
swans?
dirty? Are they just geese? Like maybe they're like Canada geese and he thinks they're dirty,
Could be.
right? Like otherwise, what is he talking about? Like they have stains on them? Like, ow.
I want my swans perfectly white. Like, how do you're going to wash the swans? Like, dude.
And then that he just jumps to like, well, maybe if you're a bird pervert and you want to wash them swans, you'll have fun.
Bird pervert.
Your mind went to a whole place, Danny.
Yeah.
That's a cat pervert.
Yeah, that's right.
I've done nothing to bring the cat. I've done nothing to bring the...
Those are some dirty swans. All right, let's go back to brewery tours. If you're just joining us, it's 1-star reviews and Boulevard Brewing, Tours and Recreation, this time in Kansas City, where Sarah has a 1-star review. Tour guides were two guys who thought they were comedians. Both were jerks who were more interested in making jokes and putting on their stand-up routine than actually educating. At one point of the tour, we sat in a hallway that was easily 100 degrees, if not more, for 10 minutes. There was no tour ahead of us. We just sat there, uncomfortable, with the majority of us asking if we could leave the area. Our pleads unheard amongst our guide's stand-up routine. When we got to the next area, our tour guide went into the fridge to cool off. Just disappointed in the tour overall. Feel like what you pay for is free beers and coupons. Been on tours of other breweries, and this one was my least favorite.
Okay, Sarah.
I mean, I will say, did you expect tour guides on a brewery tour to not have bad beer puns at some point? Like, you can just
it's a brewery
smell it,
tour.
right? It's a brewery tour. Now, the hot thing, that's probably no fun.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe it has to do with the brewing. I don't know.
were you there to really be educated about? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
come on. You want some free beer samples.
that's the only reason people go to brewery tours, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And people are all so complaining about how they're not free anymore. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back to Massapequa. We're going to go to Savero's Authentic Pizza, Napolitana. Anna Christina has a 1-star review.
This was highly abbreviated.
Yes.
Like I took out half of what you see before
Oh,
you.
wow. Okay. Let's see what Anna Christina has to say. 1 star. It has been a while since I've been there, but I decided to write this now because I really do think about it to this day. When I went in for a nice brunch with my husband, we were received by a waitress that, from the very start, didn't seem to like me very much. We ate our pizzas normally, and when we were finished with our meal, she brought the bill without us asking for it. What? When we questioned her about dessert, she ripped the bill in front of us and looked at me and said, "You're not better than me," with such an arrogance and attitude. I was in complete awe. She said to my husband, "Why are you with her? You seem like a nice man. Why are you with this woman?" and proceeded to be rude. I asked for her name and she told me she was the owner. She went to the kitchen and probably told the other workers there what had happened in her own version. And one of them came to us and told me to go back to Russia. After that, I understood that the aggression was coming from a place of discrimination. And I really hope no one else from other countries have to go through such treatment. What?
This was a lot. And by the way, I think she's from Brazil, this woman, because she referenced something about being from Brazil in the beginning of the review.
Right.
But then somehow they thought she was from Russia or something. I don't know.
What a dumb thing. Go back to Russia.
I mean,
come on.
This is not the 1980s, although I do understand that people are always terrible. So,
wow.
Also, the Czech thing, she was referencing.
They brought us the check. Okay, so they wanted dessert. They
dessert.
didn't ask hey, do you want dessert? But people that eat pizza usually don't. They're full.
And, you can always say, I would like dessert.
Yeah, can you can start
print this
another
paper
bill.
receipt.
Honestly, whatever. I thought for sure within this that she was being so salty because maybe the dude was having an affair with the pizza lady.
Well, it sounds
Why
like
are you with
the
her?
pizza lady is coming on to him in front of his wife.
Yeah, that's a real weird one.
Can you imagine? Yeah. All right, let's end things at a brewery tour, and this time it's Sierra Nevada Beer Tours, where David O, or David O, has this 1-star review. Can't place a reservation. Not going to even bother taking my peoples there again. Walking out. I overheard many verbal complaints. Walk-in wait was like 45 minutes to be seated.
I'm not
the brevity
going to even bother taking my peoples there again.
I'm not taking my peoples there.
My peoples there?
No.
I like that. I'm going to start using that.
All right. Do it.
All
hey,
right.
Every day we read through 1-star reviews from across the internets. If you want to find more of these delicious reviews, head to our YouTube channel, myTalk 1071.